Hi, I'm El. Welcome back to my channel where I like to talk about how beauty is a lifestyle. Talking more about lifestyle, I wanted to give more insight. If you look back at my older videos, I started out just making videos strictly about fasting and certain ways and alternatives for saltwater cleanses and water cleanses. So, what I wanted to talk to you about are the 4 types of fasting that I like to do, how they make me feel, and the fast that I just came off of last night. So, the 4 fasts that I do are dry fasts, strictly water fast, strictly liquid fast, and then intermittent fasting. And I like to change between these 4 types of fasts because I feel that no matter what I've learned over the years, no matter what type of diet or fast that I do, if I continue to do the same thing and I don't switch it up, my body catches up to it and it's like, aha, I know what you're doing, and it's harder for me to lose weight. So I like to switch it up, and it also depends on what's going on in my life at the time, because dry fasts they're a lot, so I think a lot of the time during a work week, I like to do things a certain way, and on the weekend I'll do something else when I do choose to do that. And then also, if I am fasting for just clarity, or if I'm fasting to hit a goal, or I have a trip coming up or something like that, it really switches up which fast I decide to do. So I'm going to start off with the hardest out of all of them for me, dry fasting. In 2019, I did, I would say, at least 5 dry fasts. One thing I do want to point out about my fasting isn't always for weight loss or for detoxing reasons. I also like to fast for spiritual reasons and for overall clarity. For me, when I get really bogged down, there's too much going on, and I just need to, or I've been eating horribly and I need to just a real reset, I will do a fast to jumpstart that reset and help me clear my mind and get myself together. Although fasts do make me a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Loopy. I also find a lot of clarity in that time, and it helps me just really reset and get myself together. So with dry fast, the longest dry fast I've done is 3 days. I tend to stick to that. What I will do is start that fast at midnight on the first day. So let's say I usually like to do dry fast Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of a week. Because I have so much going on in life, and I like to make sure I still get to spend my weekend with my husband and my friends, and a lot of the time you have plans. That's the way I particularly like to do them. So I start at midnight on Thursday, do not drink, eat anything Thursday and Friday, and I usually break my fast between 12 p.m. on Saturday and 3 p.m. somewhere in there. The latest I've gone on a dry fast is till 6 p.m. the third day. I've done that maybe once or twice. Usually I'm dead set on 12 because then I can do lunch and still enjoy my weekend. The day before I start a dry fast, I make sure to not be a total, the way I used to start, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm fasting tomorrow, I'm going to eat everything I see because I'm not going to eat for 3 days. I learned the hard way not to do that, because when you do that, it really sets yourself up for failure, and it's just not worth it. So what I usually do is I'll do water and juices and light foods the night before I start a fast. And usually I try to stop eating earlier on in the evening to just ease my way into it and pray my way through. I will be honest, my dry fasts are usually they're always for more spiritual reasons, because I find that it's harder to dry fast for dietary reasons. It's like, are you really that stuck on losing weight? If I'm doing it to spend more time with God, it is easier for me to stick to and be disciplined. With dry fasts, it depends. Sometimes my first day isn't that bad, and my second day is hard. Sometimes my first day is bad, and my second day is a breeze. A lot of the time, by the third day, I'm like, all right, I can do this, I can make it. And then every now and then, up 11:30, I'm like, is it almost 12, or do you really have to wait till 12? I recommend, even though I like to do my dry fast that way, Thursday, Friday, Saturday is what I prefer. It's better to do weekends because um, you get really, really tired. It's very draining. And it's hard you can't be active at that time at all. You need to be able to sit and not have a lot of activity going on. The reason why I choose Thursday, Friday, Saturday is, for me, during the work week, Fridays are the days that, when I was in corporate, Friday was the day that I usually had a flex day where I would leave halfway through the day. I wouldn't usually work a full work day, or Friday the office was really quiet. So it was easier for me to do that way. So that's dry fast. The other thing I want to point out is you get really, of course, you're like dehydrated since you're not drinking water or anything. I kept, and I like to keep in my car, in my bathroom in my house, and then also in the office, I keep a spray bottle. Well, not necessarily a spray bottle, but like a facial mist bottle. And I keep mouthwash. Your mouth gets super dry and you just feel gross. Your mouth starts to feel disgusting. So I have Listerine throughout the day. I just rinse my mouth out, and then just to give your skin, like, because if you haven't done a lot of fasting, you'll notice any type of fast you'll do, as you're detoxing, your body, you may break out, because the first few fasts I did like that, I did break out, and over time I stopped doing that. But you need to give yourself some moisture, and it is actually really soothing. I like to do rose water like I've done in my makeup videos. Mac Fix Plus is good. I like any type of water mist that gives you like a cooling sensation. So that's always good to do. I also really like to do face masks during that time because I have very dry skin, and I noticed it'd be more dry during that. So that brings me to water fasts. The longest water fast I've done is, I believe, 5 days. Now water is two different things too, because I've done the salt water fast that you can see in my prior video, and then what I just came off of was a water fast, which I'll explain in a minute. So I've done 5-day salt water, and I've done 3.5 day just water. Now, with my dry fast, I forgot to say, because I'm sure you're going to want to know, how much weight did I actually lose. With my first dry fast, I lost like 8 pounds. As I continue to do dry fast, I lose an average of 6 pounds. And the thing about fasting is, I know what you're going to say, well, that's not weight that you can keep off. Here's my thing. It's water weight. But then also, what I like to do after my fast is to go stick to low carb. Now, low carb may work for you, it may not. You can always incorporate into your overall diet. What also fits with your lifestyle is some way to still continue to exercise and keep a consistent diet after your fast. If your refeeds are horrible, you're not going to keep the results. And it's like, whenever I get off a fast, the way that keeps you from eating crazy is, I just busted my butt and did not eat. I was miserable at some point. Why did I do that if I'm going to just eat this pizza and everything in front of me right now? And that's what I have to tell myself to keep myself from doing it. And sometimes I fail and do it anyway. I'm just going to be honest. But a lot of the time I'm like, girl, that was painful. Let's not go there again. So, if you want to look at my saltwater mixtures, go back in my videos and you'll see one of my very first videos, the background on the thumbnail screen. I'm in my kitchen in our old house. So you can see that as well to see. I'll put the recipe in the comments as well, so you can look at that too. So what I just came off of, today is Thursday. I did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, water fast. Just drank water. Just kept drinking water all day. That's all I had. No food, no nothing. I still was a little lightheaded, and I was drained, but not as drained as a dry fast. I had a bit of a headache on and off the first day and a little bit the second, but as I got later into the second day, my head wasn't bothering me at all. I actually started to feel super normal. What was interesting though, when I finished the fast, actually at 2:30 on the third day. I ate a little bit. I had some soup. What I recommend with dry fast and water fast is breaking your fast with fruit and water. Don't do super cold water and don't do hard foods, because especially if you're doing a dry fast, you haven't been eating, so honestly hard foods will hurt your throat, and it's an uncomfortable feeling. So start off with lukewarm or warm water or room temperature water. Do not do ice cold, it'll shock your body. And then moving on to fruit, and then later on in the evening you can have regular food, or wait until the next morning. You have to ease your way out of these type of fasts, because it really is a shock to your body after not eating for so many hours. So that gives you water, dry, water, and I'll get into liquid. Last thing I want to say about the water fast, I lost 6 pounds in 3 days on my last fast. I did notice a difference. I'm not as groggy. I feel like I've been eating terribly in the last few weeks because I've been out of work and in the office or in the house a lot more. So I'm like, I started off good, but then it just went downhill, and I was like, you need to fast to get your life together. So on to liquid fast. The longest liquid fast I did was 7 days. The liquid fast, I did green juices, smoothies, and water. Just plain water, no salt water. I liked that a lot. I always feel like when I'm fasting for long periods of time, and I'm doing like a green juice fast type, I just feel so much clearer, lighter. I have so much clarity. That's when I come up with my best ideas. I really like that type of fast. So you don't have to do 7, you can do 5. So that brings me to the last one, which is intermittent. When I do intermittent fasting, I like to do that during the work week, because that is easier to maintain when you're in an office setting. It works best for me. What I will do is I will eat at 6 or 7 the night before, and I do not eat again until the 7 o'clock the next night. So I go from dinner to dinner. That way you don't get confused. That's way you don't, it's not as hard to really calculate. You'll know. And what I like to do with intermittent fasting is do that type of fast 2 days out of the week, maybe 3, depending on my overall schedule. If you're an intermittent faster, there's always something that comes up with work or something going on with your friends, so you have to really plan that time out. And so it's best for me, it's easier for me to do those during the week, during the work week. So if you have any other questions about the types of fasts I've done, or any other like tips and tricks, I've been doing fasts on it like pretty consistently now for the last 2 years. So this past year I was hardcore fasting. I fasted a lot more than I did the year before. The year before I was doing like resets like every 3 months. This time around I was way more consistent with it. So if you have any other questions, I'd love to talk more about it, and walk you more through my 3-day. Again, I'm Janae. Thanks for tuning in. Looking forward to talking to you soon about even more opportunities to fast.